I remember sitting in a room and the doctor comes in and he says, hey, Cal, I need you to stay here with your stepmom. I need to talk to your mom and dad out in the hall. I just knew it without him telling me. And then that walk down the hallway with his mom to get to the other room where he could tell us, maybe 50 feet, but it seemed like it was 2 miles. And then he said that it was true, Cal has leukemia. And rest changed from there.
My knee started progressively getting more sore, and I thought I just pulled something or I strained something. They finally took an MRI in December, and they found a tumor, and so they did a biopsy, and they found that it was osteosarcoma.
I mean, we talked about it the other day. She's like, did I cry? And I said, no.
I got scared that my family would be sad or scared because I knew that everything was going to be okay, so I didn't want them to be worried.
The first time she cried when she found out she was going to lose her hair, and she was like, I'm going to will myself not to. And then she's like, yeah, I guess I can't do that.
I think it just kind of changed in the sense that I do different things now and I have different priorities.
She's like, okay, we're just going to get through this. I mean, she was very positive. So I think that helps. I know that helped me. I'm like, she can do it, I can do it.
Action!
Perfect.
They pulled us into a family room. You never want to be pulled into a family room because you know that they're not going to tell you the greatest stuff. That was probably one of the most difficult days of our lives. And I say probably because we had many other difficult days after that. It seemed like every time the doctor came in, the news got a little bit worse. We're not sure what to tell you. We're not sure what steps to take, but we'll do our best. I think the harder part was forgiving ourselves for missing the cues.
We thought for sure he's going to go in, he's going to get his chemo and radiation, and we're going to move on from this. Everything will be fine.
Finding out that she had relapsed was a little bit more difficult than the initial diagnosis. We already saw what cancer could do, and we already saw what it took to fight it. It was a really devastating call. I think I was in denial a lot longer than the first time, for sure.
I can remember a moment when I realized that Cal was going to pass away. His mom and I were on each side of the bed. He looked at us. He said, I want to be cremated. And it was at that moment I was like, oh, he knows. I'll never forget that. That's one of those things that just sticks in your head. It's hard to get out. And you wish you could forget about it, but yet you don't want to forget about it.
The truth is, no one did anything wrong. It's just, that's what happened.
Sent Wednesday, August 16th at 9:59 p.m.
This is Cal. I'm calling to say goodnight. Love you. Okay, bye.
End of message.
I can remember the day he was born. I said, boy, my life is going to change. Little I know how much it was going to change and how much was going to happen in those 13 years since he was born. I think about Cal a lot. And I often ask him for advice on stuff. The biggest message is doing things for other people. That's what we did. We created this for others. I always call it being that conduit between those who want to do good and those who need to receive it. And we try and run this organization as best as we can to make that happen.
The main mission of Cal's Angels is to grant a $1,000 wish for any child being treated at a Chicagoland hospital with pediatric cancer, as long as we receive the referral first year of diagnosis. We try to do whatever it is that they can come up with within that $1,000 amount. I think it's really important to try to bring back some normalcy and bring back some happiness. It may be only for a moment, but for us, that moment means everything.
What's it say, Nat?
It's tickets to go see Kenny Chesney.
Woo! And guess how many tickets?
And you should take your favorite neighbor!
That is the meet and greet, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, but is that not the best?
Yeah.
Would it be fun? Yeah. Look at it. I think your sister might be more excited.
Look at Ash. That's for sure. We made it a big affair, and we rented a limo, and we had some really good friends come with us.
It definitely exceeded my expectations because I got to hug him twice, and that was pretty awesome. So we were standing in line, and it was my dad next to me, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, are you excited? Like, this is so cool. Like, don't be nervous, don't be nervous." "Dad, you're making me nervous."
My favorite wish all time is a boy who was in his teens and he was diagnosed with leukemia and he wanted a laptop. Will passed away unexpectedly. The family found several documents that he had written in his own quiet time, speaking from his heart, and the amazing letters that he wrote to both of his parents were something that they would have never had we not given that wish, because he would have never had his own laptop. The mother at the funeral shared the letters that she had found. The significance and the importance of just that one experience at Best Buy picking out a laptop is something that allows her to move on day to day.
I definitely think it's important to have the siblings be included. They are missing out on stuff too because the parents have to be with the one child.
Cal's Angels encompasses the entire family. We don't just focus on the sick child, because we learned firsthand how siblings do become lost on a day-to-day basis, and we do not want anyone ever to feel that way.
The perfect example is Cal's brother saw Cal getting all this stuff from these other organizations that he thought it would be a good idea if he got cancer so he could get all that stuff. And you see that, you go, whoa, you know, it really opened our eyes to the sibling part of it, that the siblings suffer just as much as the kids do.
No one wants to be the forgotten child and like cast aside. So I think it's really important, and they do a really great job of bringing the siblings in and making sure that they're happy and they're having a good time too.
We are the only organization that goes to Lurie Children's Hospital once a month for our monthly hospital parties.
They come in and they have this really huge pizza party on the 18th floor, which is the Oncology Infusion Center.
All of the children there get to pick 4 to 5 toys. We allow them to take toys home to their siblings. We want them to be able to go home and give the sibling a gift as well from them.
When Cal's Angels comes in and you see them, you know, their eyes will like, prick up, and Stacey's there to give you a hug.
And quite frankly, the parents' eyes light up because they know that their child is going to have a rockin' next 2 hours. And we love walking on the floor and just seeing the whole energy change.
They're always so positive, and all of the volunteers, you know, they come in and talk to the kids and like talk to Natalie like she's not a sick kid. They're just like, "Hey, what's going on? How you doing?"
I think what Cal's Angels does is they make people forget about what's going on and just let them be kids and have a family and just have that time together.
One of the hardest things about seeing your child have cancer is that they go through a difficult time and you see them really struggling. And so I think when they have joy, that totally shifts whatever mood that I'm in to be equally joyful, because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for my kid to be happy. They can't be healthy right now, that's fine, then let's be happy. It makes a difference. You know, it makes Ava happy, and in turn, that makes me happy.
Oh, you are so welcome. It's so good to meet you.
The 12 Days of Christmas program is for the sickest of the sick. And we are given the names of the children who qualify from the doctors. So what we do is we take the sick child along with the siblings and we give them $250 worth of gifts. They fill out the gift list and we give them as best as we can what the requests are. We also give them a $150 jewel card so the family can have Christmas dinner catered if they wish. We give them gingerbread houses to make as a family, as one more memory to build. We show up with everything wrapped, tagged, and ready to go.
I was planning for Ava's 1-year post-transplant party, and I got the call that Ava had relapsed in the skin, and it was just we were so blindsided by it. And so when we went to Seattle is when we found out that she had actually relapsed in her marrow, which is a lot more severe than relapsing in her skin only. I just was lost. I didn't even know if we were gonna come home, let alone do we have Christmas planned, did we have anything for the kids, you know, and we came home to just an amazing amount of love and support through gifts for not just Ava, but for Gwen, for Jude, you know, so that they wouldn't be forgotten either.
Are you serious?
It's the crib?
It's the crib that I wanted.
Oh my
Whoa.
gosh!
How did they know? It's the crib that I wanted.
How did they know? How did Santa know?
Daddy, help me build it.
Okay.
That's what Cal's Angels is to us. It's an organization that not only just provides, you know, financially and provides these gifts, but they are there with us. They're walking with us. I mean, Stacey texted me. We were texting back and forth as soon as I found out this terrible news, and so, they walk with us and they hold our hands, and especially because we know they've been through it, it's extra meaningful. She always urges us to remember quality of life, and she always urges us to remember that Ava is just a child that also needs to have a childhood, and that's really important for us because a lot of times as a parent that's frantically fighting, we forget that piece.
I like to think that Cal is looking down and he can see everything that's going on. I mean, he inspired quite a bit of people to do a lot of good, from our board members to our staff, our events, our donors, our sponsors, all of these people coming together to do so much good for so many people that need it.
When you see Cal's angels step in and you see them grant wishes, you see all these things, you realize even in the midst of a really difficult situation, it's possible to have joy. It's important to have joy. The joy is what spurs on the hope, is what spurs on the fight. It all goes hand in hand, and a child is a child. They really need that component of fun for them to have that will to fight and to keep going. And, and for the children that, God bless them, are maybe going through a really difficult time, the provision of the quality of life, giving them something that they could treasure, hold on to as a family, that's gold. That's not even something you can measure in any kind of currency. It's priceless.
I had a dream I hoped will come true, that you're here with me and I'm here with you. The earth up, something. Oh, the sky up above will send me someone to love.
I love you.